heavy wooden door clicks shut behind me, isolating us from the rest of the sterile, bustling hospital. My eyes instantly lock onto the figure sitting upright in the center of the mechanical bed. She is staring intently at a small television mounted on the wall, the screen casting a flickering blue glow over her features. My breath hitches, a quiet gasp catching in my dry throat. She is so much thinner than I remember. The soft, vibrant curves of her youth have been completely hollowed out by the relentless progression of her illness. Her cheekbones are sharp, but the thing that shatters my heart into absolute pieces is her head. The beautiful, flowing waves of silky blonde hair that I used to run my fingers through are entirely gone. Her scalp is bare. A choked, helpless sob escapes my lips before I can stop it. At the sound, Kate clicks the television off. She slowly turns her head toward me, her movements fragile and deliberate. The moment her eyes meet mine, the world outside ceases to exist. A soft, radiant warmth washes over her face, and she pulls her lips back into her undeniable, trademark smile. The one that used to make my knees go weak. My heart skips a beat. Ale. She whispers, her voice raspy and thin, yet sweeter than any melody I've ever heard. I stand frozen near the doorway, my boots feeling as though they are glued to the linoleum floor. Come here, she coos softly, reaching out a pale, trembling hand to pat the empty white mattress. I force myself to move, dragging my feet forward with agonizing slowness. My mind is spinning in absolute chaos. Is this real? Am I finally awake, or is this just another cruel, vivid dream? Ale, she says softly, a small, playful glint flickering deep within her blue eyes. You can touch me, I promise I don't bite. I carefully slide onto the edge of the mattress, positioning myself directly in front of her. Up close, the stark reality of her condition hits me with the force of a physical blow. Her eyes, once a piercing, brilliant winter sky, are dulled and weary, framed by deep, dark purple bruises of exhaustion. Her lips are pale, stripped of their natural rosy color. Don't cry, Ale, Kate murmurs, her voice thick with sudden emotion. She reaches up, her slender, cool hands gently cupping my face. Her palms feel incredibly soft against my skin. I'm here. She gently pulls my head forward, guiding it down until my cheek rests against her frail shoulder. The dam inside me breaks completely. I cry hard, my shoulders shaking violently. I wrap my arms securely around her narrow waist, pulling her tightly against me. After 10 long years of agonizing isolation, I can finally feel the physical weight of her body. She is warm. She is breathing. You left me. I mumble into the fabric of her shoulder, my voice cracking. You broke your promise, Kate. You never came back to our place. I pull back just an inch, my fist lightly, playfully tapping against her back in a desperate display of affection. I stood out there in the cold, just hoping to meet the love of my life. I would close my eyes tight and pray to God before taking that last step through the bushes, praying that when I opened them, I would see your beautiful face. I wanted to see your heart-melting smile again. I'm so sorry, baby, she whispers, her hands sliding into the hair at the back of my neck, holding me close. I bury my face deeper into the crook of her neck. Every single year, I always found an empty space. It broke my heart a little more each time, but I could never lose my hope. My love for you was just too strong. I kept believing you would eventually be there. Kate rubs her hands in slow, soothing circles across my back. I look up slightly and see heavy, hot tears spilling over her eyelids, tracing wet paths down her pale cheeks. I am so sorry, Ale. She repeats, her voice breaking into a quiet sob. I immediately shake my head, reaching up to gently wipe her tears away with my thumbs. I miss you, we whisper in perfect, synchronized unison. Driven by an ancient, undeniable instinct, I lean in. The exact millisecond our lips touch, the breath is completely stolen from my lungs. It is breathtaking. It's as if a dam has burst in my mind, and memories of our very first kiss on the picnic blanket come rushing back in a vivid, blinding flash. The warmth of the summer sun, the smell of the grass. We taste the salt of our mingled tears, but neither of us pulls away. We press closer, pouring 10 years of sorrow, longing, and unyielding devotion into a single, consuming kiss. We finally break apart, both of us gasping breathlessly for air. Our foreheads rest against each other, our breathing synchronized. I love you, Kate, I whisper against her lips. I love you too, Alessandra. Half an hour passes quietly. We shift on the mechanical bed, lying down side by side. I wrap my arms securely around her frail shoulders, cradling her head against my chest. It feels so natural, like we are teenagers back in the clearing, hiding away from the rest of the universe. Does it disturb you? Kate asks suddenly, her voice cutting through the peaceful silence. I tilt my head down, confused. I'm bald. She says softly, her hand reaching up to gesture toward her bare head. Her lower lip sticks out in a faint, vulnerable pout. A gentle chuckle escapes my lips, and I lean down to peck her lips affectionately. Are you kidding me? You are absolutely stunning, Kate, with or without hair. I love you exactly as you are. In fact, I am entirely certain that you are, without a doubt, the most beautiful bald woman in this entire universe. A bright, genuine giggle ripples from her chest, the sound filling the sterile room with a sudden spark of life. For a long time, we simply cherished the quiet moments. It was always a yes, you know, Kate speaks out of the blue, her tone suddenly turning serious. I freeze, my fingers pausing mid-stroke in their gentle massage of her shoulder. I look down at her, my brow furrowing. 10 years ago, if things had been different, if I hadn't been so sick and terrified, I would have kissed you. I would have said yes to your proposal instantly. My jaw practically drops to the ground. The shock of her words makes my head spin. Am I hearing her right? What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? She chuckles weakly, a familiar, teasing smirk playing at the corners of her mouth. I shrug my shoulders sheepishly, a sudden wave of warmth hitting my cheeks. You know, I actually always bring the ring with me, I admit, my voice dropping to a shy whisper. Just in case you showed up, I would drop down on my knees right then and there, and ask you the exact same question until I finally got my answer. Then propose to me right now, she insists, her smile widening into something truly beautiful. I will give you the answer you've been waiting for. Now. Right here in a hospital room? I ask, my eyes widening. Then reality comes crashing back. But Kate, you have a family out there. I can't just do that. I'm dying, Ale, she says plainly, the raw honesty hitting me like a physical blow. She reaches up to grasp my hand, squeezing it with surprising strength. This is my absolute last wish before I leave this world. Michael knows everything. He completely understands. Just do it, please. Without another word, I reach into the pocket of my blue jeans. My fingers wrap around the familiar, worn velvet of the little black box. I pull it out and carefully flip it open. I'm so sorry if this is completely unromantic and less than perfect, but I just want you to know that I love you from the very bottom of my soul. Oh, skip the cheesy, dramatic talk, Newman. She cuts me off, her eyes shining with tears and laughter. Fine, I roll my eyes playfully, a breath of genuine laughter escaping me. Catherine Marie Louise. Will you marry me? Before the final syllable can even leave my lips, Kate lunges forward. She throws her arms around my neck, crashing her mouth against mine. We press closer, pouring 10 years of sorrow, longing, and unyielding devotion into a single, consuming kiss. When we eventually break apart, she lets out a contented sigh, holding her left hand up to admire the sparkling diamond now resting perfectly on her ring finger. I absolutely love it. I genuinely thought you had completely moved on, she murmurs softly. Do you remember when you would constantly ramble on about your celebrity crush? It used to annoy me so incredibly much. Hey, look at me. I say gently, reaching out to cup her cheek. You have absolutely nothing to worry about. It has always been you, Kate, and I would never trade you for any girl in the world. She arches a playful eyebrow, a mischievous spark returning to her eyes. Oh, really? Not even for Kate Beckinsale. Well, let's see about that one. I say, tapping my chin thoughtfully, intentionally pretending to contemplate the choice just to tease her. I mean, look at her. I banter, a wide grin spreading across my face. She's a badass vampire in those underworld movies. It would be pretty incredible if I ever got the chance to kiss her, or maybe have sex. Whoa, stop, I'm just kidding, baby, I swear. I laugh frantically, quickly grabbing her hands to stop her. No one could ever replace you, Kate, not even a Hollywood actress. I lean in and kiss her deeply. And after a second of resistance, she melts against me, her lips responding with a fierce, possessive warmth. quiet peace of the room is gently broken by the sharp creak of the door opening. A small, dark head peeks into the room. "Mommy." Cassandra squeals happily, her face lighting up as she sprints across the linoleum floor and bounces carefully onto the edge of the hospital bed. I quickly slide out of the way, smoothing down my red t-shirt, and step back to give the mother and daughter some space. "Mommy, look at this," Cassandra proudly proclaims, holding up the fresh charcoal sketch pad I had been carrying earlier. "Look what I found. It's you, right? Auntie Sandra drew it and gave it to me." Kate takes the sketchbook from her daughter's small hands, her blue eyes darting over the lines before shifting up to look at me, a fond smile pulling at her lips. "Auntie Sandra, huh?" "Her full name is so common," the little girl explains, folding her arms in a dramatic pout. "I already have an Uncle Alex and an Auntie Alexa in Germany. If I call her Alessandra, my brain is gonna get totally confused." A bright giggle escapes me from my spot by the window. "It's completely fine, sweetie. You can call me Sandra." Kate stares down at the charcoal portrait for a long, lingering moment. An expression of profound, bittersweet sorrow flashes across her features. "I really miss my hair," she sighs softly. My heart drops slightly. "Way to go, Alessandra," I think to myself, a wave of guilt hitting me. "You managed to make her sad with your drawing." "But it's completely okay," Kate continues quickly, looking up to catch my eye, a beautiful, loving warmth radiating from her gaze. "Because just like you said, I'm still beautiful." "You are the most beautiful mommy in the whole wide world," Cassandra chimes in, wrapping her arms around Kate's neck. "Will I look exactly like you when I get older, Mommy?" "Of course you will, my beautiful baby," Kate answers softly, gently booping the little girl's nose. "You are my absolute twin, but why do you ask?" Cassandra's cheeks instantly flush, and she buries her face shyly into Kate's hospital gown. "Because I like Danny," she admits in a tiny, muffled voice. I exchange a wide-eyed, amused glance with Kate across the bed. Kate lets out a rich, hearty chuckle, rubbing her daughter's back. "Well, look at that. My little baby girl officially has her very first crush." The door clicks open again, and Michael steps into the room, his hands slid casually into the pockets of his suit trousers. He stops near the foot of the bed. "Thank you, Alessandra," he says softly, offering me a genuine nod. I tilt my head slightly in confusion. "For what?" "Look at her," Michael whispers. "She's incredibly happy. I haven't seen her smile like that in months." His gaze drifts down to Kate's left hand, noticing the sparkling diamond. "That is a beautiful ring, by the way." A deep blush instantly creeps up my neck, and I scratch the back of my head self-consciously. "You are incredibly understanding about all of this, Michael. Honestly, I don't even know how to thank you." He simply shrugs his broad shoulders, a look of profound, weary maturity settling over him. "The things we do for love." "Michael," Kate calls out from the bed. "Yes, dear," he responds. Kate proudly holds up her left hand, flashing the diamond ring in his direction with a triumphant grin. "It's absolutely beautiful, Kate," Michael says softly. He leans down and presses a gentle, respectful kiss against her forehead. "And you absolutely must hear this," Kate continues excitedly, pointing a dramatic finger down at the little girl. "Our little princess here has confessed that she likes a boy named Danny." Danny, as in little Daniel from the neighborhood. The one who runs the second he hears the ice cream truck. Michael bursts into a loud, booming laugh, the sound filling the room with a sense of ordinary family warmth. "I want a cheeseburger," Kate speaks up, a sudden craving crossing her face. Michael sighs, rolling his eyes in a practiced, doctor-like manner. "Kate, you know you can't have that. It's incredibly unhealthy, especially right now with your dietary restrictions." "Oh, come on," Kate pouts dramatically, throwing her hands in the air. "Give this dying woman a break. Let me have my comfort food." The word dying hangs heavy in the air, causing me to visibly flinch. The casual way she says it makes a sickening knot form in my stomach. "I'll go get it," I volunteer quickly, eager for a distraction to break the sudden tension. "There's a McDonald's down the street." Michael opens his mouth to object, likely wanting to maintain her hospital diet, but he suddenly winces in pain, letting out a sharp gasp. I look over and bite back a smile. Kate has reached out and delivered a fierce, warning pinch right to his arm. I hold a heavy paper bag tightly in my hands, the scent of hot grease and salt wafting through the air. As I turn the corner toward the oncology wing, the peaceful atmosphere vanishes instantly. Heavy alarm bells begin blaring from the walls, a deafening, terrifying sound. Doctors and nurses are sprinting past me in a state of absolute panic. I stop in my tracks, my heart leaping into my throat. I grab a passing nurse by her scrub sleeve, my voice tight with sudden terror. "What's the room number?" The name she shouts back over her shoulder makes the paper bag slip entirely from my fingers, the cheeseburger drops to the floor. Driven by pure, unadulterated panic, I begin to sprint. With every single step I take down the endless hallway, my heart beats faster and faster, hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. The scene inside is pure, terrifying chaos. A crowd of doctors and nurses are surrounding her bed, their movements a frantic blur as the heart monitor shrieks in a high-pitched, continuous alarm. Over in the corner, Cassandra is clinging desperately to her father's waist, crying hysterically into his suit jacket. Michael stands there like a statue, his face frozen in a stoic, pale mask. After several agonizing minutes, the frantic alarms finally begin to stabilize, slowing down to a weak, erratic rhythm. The doctors step back, their expressions heavy with a grim, silent resignation. Kate looks up at them, her breathing incredibly shallow. With a weak, trembling hand, she reaches up and pulls the plastic oxygen mask away from her face. She weakly motions for us to come closer. "I don't want to die," she whispers, a wave of pure, childlike terror breaking through her raspy voice. "You're not going to die, Kate. Don't say that," I lie fiercely, stepping up to the bedside and grabbing her hand, trying desperately to push the dark reality away. "You can fight this, Mommy." Cassandra sobs, breaking away from Michael and throwing her small body across the bed, hugging Kate's torso with a desperate strength. "I am so sorry, my beautiful baby girl. But Mommy's time has officially come. To make sure you're taken care of, I already left my secret strawberry pancake recipe with your father." "You never actually taught me how to make them, Kate," Michael says, stepping forward, his stoic mask completely shattering as he openly weeps. He takes her other hand, his voice breaking. "Please. Protect our beautiful daughter. Love her fiercely and make her happy every single day. Don't you ever let any person break her heart." Michael offers a heavy, choked nod of agreement. Michael leans down, his shoulders shaking, and presses a sweet, lingering goodbye kiss onto her lips before stepping back to hold his daughter. Kate's eyes slowly drift over to me, a faint, beautiful warmth returning to her gaze. "Did you bring my order, Ale?" I force a watery smile onto my face, the tears blinding my vision. "I did. But I dropped it in the hallway. Did it have extra mustard?" she whispers, her voice fading. I offer a tight, choked nod. "You healed me, Alessandra. You didn't heal me physically, but you healed me emotionally and mentally. You made me feel alive again." I lean down and gently press my lips against hers, cutting off the string of apologies. "Kate," I whisper against her skin, my own tears falling onto her cheek. "My heart belongs entirely to you," I continue, taking her fragile hand and placing it flat against the center of my chest, directly over my racing pulse. "Thank you for loving me, Ale." She chokes out, the words becoming an immense struggle as her eyelids grow incredibly heavy. I press a deep, warm kiss against her bare forehead, keeping a soft, loving smile on my face despite the agony ripping my soul apart. "Sing for me," Kate demands in a faint whisper, her eyes half closed. "Sing our song." I take a deep breath, trying to steady my shaking voice. I intertwine my fingers tightly with hers, coughing lightly to check my sound, which elicits a tiny, final chuckle from her lips. I can feel her breathing growing slower and slower against the pillows, her grip on my fingers relaxing into a gentle weight. "I love you, Alessandra," she manages to whisper, her final breath carrying my name into the quiet room. "I love you too, Kate," I reply softly, leaning down to press one final, lingering kiss against her lips. The heart monitor flatlines into a continuous, unbroken tone. She is gone. Today is the funeral. The sky over the cemetery is bleak, reflecting the somber mood of the crowd gathered around the burial site. I wear a simple black dress, shivering slightly against the biting wind. Held tightly in my hands is a massive bouquet of fresh flowers. Kate absolutely loved carnations. Michael and little Cassandra are sitting directly in the front row of folding chairs. The moment Michael sees me approaching, he gestures toward an empty seat right next to them that they had intentionally saved for me. There are not many people present today. I look across the grass and spot Kate's mother sitting a few rows back, weeping softly into a lace handkerchief. I had already spoken to her earlier. To my absolute surprise, the older woman had broken down completely, pulling me into a tight, desperate hug and tearfully apologizing for keeping us apart. I am deeply glad that the ancient bitterness has finally been laid to rest. Today, we gather here to celebrate the life of Catherine. The priest's deep voice begins to echo across the grass. I completely block out the rest of his sermon. My eyes settle fully on the polished white casket resting above the open earth, where her body now lays at peace. Soon enough, the service comes to an end. The crowd begins to disperse into the afternoon. I step up to the edge of the grave and carefully lay the bouquet of white carnations across the center of the casket. I stand there for a long time in front of her newly carved tombstone, my fingers reaching out to gently caress the sharp lines of her name etched into the cold granite. I let out a long, heavy sigh. She is finally in a better place now. The battle is over. There is no more pain, no more horrible pills, no more suffering. Auntie Sandra. A small, fragile voice speaks up from behind my shoulder. Standing there in a beautiful little pink winter dress is Cassandra, her dark curls dancing in the wind. I immediately lean down and pick her up. "Hello there, beautiful," I say, forcing a warm smile onto my face for her sake. The little girl lets out a tiny, watery giggle. "This is for you," she whispers, reaching into her pocket. I gently set her back down on the grass, accepting the envelope, but I don't open it just yet. Cassandra turns her head to look down at her mother's flower-covered grave, her lower lip trembling violently. "Mommy left me. She told me she loved me more than anything, but she lied to me." Her little voice cracks completely, a heavy sob escaping her. I drop to my knees in the grass, wrapping my arms tightly around her small frame and pulling her into a fierce embrace. "Hey, listen to me, Cassandra. She left us. Yes. That doesn't mean she didn't love you with every single ounce of her soul. She loved you so much, sweetie. She fought that terrible sickness for years just so she could stay here for you. She wanted nothing more than to see you grow up. Don't you ever let anyone in this world, especially yourself, convince you that your mommy didn't love you. Okay." The little girl wipes her wet cheeks with her mittens and offers me a firm, determined nod of her head. Michael steps up to join us a moment later, his long black coat buttoned tight against the chill. He doesn't say much, his green eyes reflecting a profound, quiet exhaustion. I step up and place a supportive hand flat against his shoulder. "She is finally at peace, Michael." He offers me a weak, deeply grateful smile. "If you or Cassandra ever need anything, a hot meal, a babysitter, or just someone to talk to, call me, okay? I will be there for you guys." "Thank you so much, Alessandra," Michael says softly. "Oh, I want you to come over, Auntie Sandra," Cassandra chimes in excitedly, tugging aggressively on the sleeve of my dress. "Daddy tried to make strawberry pancakes this morning, and they were completely burnt." Michael lets out a sheepish, embarrassed laugh, rubbing the back of his neck. "I tried my best, kiddo." A bright, genuine chuckle escapes my lips. "I'll be there, Cassandra." "Come on, baby girl, let's head to the car. It's time to go home," her father commands gently. The little girl nods happily, but before she turns to leave, she grabs my arm one last time, forcing me to lower my body until we are eye-to-eye. "Thank you, Auntie Sandra," she whispers softly. She leans forward, presses a warm, sweet kiss against my cheek, and flashes me a wide, bright smile. My heart completely stops. In that exact moment, looking at the way her lips pull back, I see a perfect, undeniable ghost of Kate's face flashing within her daughter's features. It is that exact same smile. "Damn you, Catherine," I think to myself, a bittersweet warmth flooding my chest. Of course, you had to pass your exact heart-melting smile down to your daughter. "You're welcome," I whisper back affectionately. She gives me one final, tight hug before turning around, waving her tiny mitten in the air as Michael carries her toward the waiting black sedan. I watch as the car smoothly pulls out of the cemetery gates and disappears down the road. Left entirely alone in the quiet cemetery, I slowly look down at the heavy white envelope in my hands. I tear open the seal and reach inside. My fingers first pull out a delicate gold chain. It is a necklace. The exact gold locket necklace I had saved up for months to buy her for our first anniversary. I stare at it in absolute disbelief, tears welling in my eyes. I carefully click the tiny latch open. Inside the locket is our old picture. We are both staring directly into the camera lens, smiling from ear to ear. I carefully fasten the gold chain around my neck, feeling the cool weight of the metal rest against my collarbone, before pulling out the folded piece of paper remaining in the envelope.
Dear Alessandra, if you are reading this letter right now, it means I am officially resting 6 feet under. But there is absolutely no need to be sad, my love. I have arrived at a much better place where I can feel no more physical pain, no more burning tears, and no more fear. I am up here, watching over you and my beautiful family from above the clouds. My beautiful baby. I know how deeply you love me. The depth of your loyalty. But you cannot spend the rest of your life mourning a ghost under that tree. I need you to let your heart open up for someone new. You are free. I promise I won't be mad at all, but don't you dare forget that I will absolutely come back and haunt you in your dreams if you ever pick someone who is less pretty than me. I love you. Yours truly, Kate.
A soft laugh escapes my lips. This time, they aren't tears of devastating sorrow, they are tears of pure, genuine happiness. I am so profoundly glad she did this. Well, now that you've officially given me your permission, I guess I can finally go out and date Kate Beckinsale. I mutter aloud to the empty graveyard, a witty smirk pulling at my lips. The exact millisecond the words leave my mouth, a sudden, violent gust of freezing wind rushes through the quiet cemetery. It passes straight through my body, sending a sharp, intense shiver down my spine. I instantly freeze, my eyes widening as I scan the empty rows of gray tombstones. There is absolutely nothing there, just the grass rustling in the wind. A rich, vibrant laugh breaks from my throat, the sound echoing through the solemn air. I guess Kate doesn't completely approve of that choice after all. I slowly look up toward the sky, letting out a quiet, peaceful prayer into the universe. Goodbye, my love. Goodbye. I love you, Kate, I whisper into the wind, my fingers tracing the gold locket resting against my chest. Always. And forever. Turning on my heel, I take a deep breath of the crisp autumn air and begin to walk out of the cemetery, finally stepping forward into the horizon of my own future.